music just feels so good. You're on to number one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring in Giovanni the Latin Artist. He is currently on the line. What up, brother?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good, good. First of all, we were about to debut your track tonight, and super excited. I heard the track. Absolutely dope. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Just a few things to, I guess you could say, give our listeners a little background on who Giovanni the Latin Artist actually is. Memory recalls you started off in the industry as a dancer, correct?
Yeah, correct. I started up doing, small shows at convention centers, opening up for other groups, and then it turned into professional from car shows, and then it led to actually dancing for artists like Connie, Johnny O. My brother James, he danced for Jaya at the time when I was doing those projects. Stevie B's artist for You Believe Me Now.
Okay.
And then we met up and stuff, joined forces with Sheila E. and appear in two of her music videos in 1991. One was filmed 1991, which was Sex Symbol, and the other one 6 months later, around that June and stuff. It was under the Brooklyn Bridge in New York City, called Dropping Like Flies.
Very nice. I know. I actually have Dropping Like Flies. It's still on vinyl, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Yes, unfortunately, I'm old.
Yeah, that was a fun video because it let us step out of our comfort zone as far as, having dancing partners and really getting into that, that sensual look, where you got to look the girl in the eyes and just dance with them a certain way. It kind of got to do a lot of acting and stuff while you're on the stage.
Right.
Because they had to dress like kind of like gladiators with the shoulder pads, the bandanas with no shirts, and the baggy black pants and stuff. And we were doing, we were dancing all by the big drum silhouettes that she had in the background with that other dancers that were like women dancers that every time we would go hit that silhouette, they will react to every hit that we hit when we hit the drum.
Okay. Now, when you were with Sheila, did you do any background singing, or was it just straight up dancing?
No, it was straight up dancing, but we learned a lot from her. We learned a lot about the business, how it works. We've seen a lot of the behind-scenes stuff, which was very educational for us because, we were very new. And the reason that she picked us out of thousands of dancers, she said, because we were new to the business, we were very good at what we did. She didn't have to deal with no egos and stuff like she does with most dancers.
Right. And
so she loved that about us and the humbleness that, we gave. No matter how good we were still very humble. And so, that created a good relationship with her and the family, where we also got even to do shows with her father, legendary Peter Escobedo.
Right. Now, when did the dancing end and the transition into singing start?
It ended kind of like towards the end of our gig with the last shows that we did after the music video Dropping Like Flies. We did a couple Las Vegas shows with her and stuff. Everything lasted almost a year, and almost kind of like maybe the end of 1991 and stuff, December. That's when we started transitioning. We got approached by a record company called Tri-World Records and stuff like that, and then I kind of started a group at that time called the Wild Boys and stuff that we transitioned into the full Latin side, with appearing in shows like Caliente and doing a lot of those morning shows and stuff like that they put us in. But the experience from Sheila kind of trained us for that type of situation. It kind of everything that she taught us, especially stage presence, because, with a lot of artists, a lot of them like that stage presence. She taught us, how to do that little smile that makes girls go crazy, like the little hand gestures like Prince used to do, with his hand, with his hair, and the girls just go ballistic.
Right.
I mean, she taught us all that stuff and just how to work that stage, basically when we're performing.
Now, was the transition going into singing, was that rough? Was there a lot to learn, or did you learn most of that with
first,
Sheila?
because my mother, she was a professional singer as well and stuff like that. She never got famous or anything, but she was doing professional tours and all that. So we got it from her, but we never really tried it, and it was kind of intimidating, when you first go into a recording studio with all the gadgets and everything, and go in there and you hear yourself on that microphone, and it kind of throws you off, and it kind of like something you got to get used to, hearing your voice come back at you, especially when it came to harmonies, learning how to structure a song. I worked with the producer I worked with called Renz Perez. He's worked with Baby Bash. Me and him became really, really good friends, and he became the best man in my wedding. He taught me everything that I knew, how to write a song from scratch, from the verse, in the bridge into the hook, and I went from there and stuff like that. I just blossomed at that point.
Oh, very cool. Okay. Now, Wild Boys who was that exactly?
It was my friend Miguel Lazaba, Tootie Teal, and then my brother James Amato, rest in peace and stuff like that. He died in '97 and stuff like that. He passed away.
Oh, so sorry.
But it was four of us and stuff that made up that group of the Wild Boys, which later turned into two members and stuff, and the two members, which is me and a new member called his name was Trini Valdez. Me and him took it to a whole nother level with BMG Latin, and we got signed to BMG Latin, and that's when we're doing all the the caliente shows and all the Univision type stuff on the Latin side and stuff. But little by little, that withered as well, and then where I decided just to take a break for a couple of years, spend time with family and just reinvent myself. And that's when Giovanni the Latin Artist was born and stuff, the solo artist.
Well, just to touch a little bit more on Wild Boys, was it a completely Latin music, or was it like freestyle, dance, R&B?
It was everything. We mixed everything all into one thing about me. When I write songs, I give you different flavors of music, different styles.
Okay.
I write Latin, I write pop, R&B, EDM, you name it. If they challenge me to write country, I think I could do that too and stuff. But the thing is, we did a mixture of stuff. We rap, we did R&B, we did Latin, all mixed together and stuff like that in one album and stuff. It's just like we gave you a little bit of everything.
Now, I saw that Wild Boys opened up for a lot of unbelievable acts, such as Evelyn Champagne King, the Two Live Crew, CNC Music Factory. Tell me a little bit about these shows.
Those shows were really, really intense and stuff. Every person that we got to meet, we became like family and stuff like that. We chilled with Roger from Roger and Zap many times because we had a lot of different shows with each other. Same thing with Ronnie O and Joe Cooley back in the day and stuff like that. We chilled out with them a lot. Lighter Shade of Brown as well. On my bio, I only mentioned a few acts, but there's so many acts that we perform with, and with every show, it just was a big learning experience for us, and just to see that those friendships that you create while you're in the music business, it's kind of like, you can't replace that with anything else. It's like an unbelievable feeling, especially when the crowd's screaming, screaming your name, or they get so loud that you can't even hear your own music. And so that's an unbelievable feeling.
I get that actually on the other spectrum as a DJ. You always want to hear that roar of the crowd. It's like a drug.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how it was. I fed off of that, and it just made me a better performer for it and stuff like that.
Now, speaking of the music business, who was your influences coming up? Like, what made you want to be a dancer first? And then who made you want to be the singer that you are today?
Well, me, watching, Bobby Brown and Heavy D and the Boys back in the day, all those different Kwame. Just watching those videos, just hyped me up, knowing that we wanted to dance. Like anywhere we could be seen, we performed anywhere we could and stuff, and that's how we got noticed.
Right.
On our dancing, we became very, very, very popular, especially in our Bay Area, by San Francisco. In San Jose, California, we became very known where, we were battling and stuff like that. And actually, Sheila E. ended up watching us, and her dad was performing Pita Escovedo at the time when she discovered us. We happened to be battling another group, and she was sitting in a van. Nobody knew she was there, and she just had her people call us over and just had us audition. We went to Oakland, California to audition for her, and basically she told us that, it was going to take about a year for her to finish her album. So we ended up doing our projects with Connie, Johnny O. My brother went up with Jaya and stuff, and Stevie B up in Fort Lauderdale when Stevie B had his house over there.
Okay.
That's how we know Elika Cortez and a bunch of them, because we all come out of the same high school.
As a matter of fact, Elika's a great friend.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine since childhood and stuff like that. Just like, we all come from the same high school. A lot of people from that Independence High School in San Jose went out to do great things and stuff in their entertainment business.
Now, you said basically you took some time off to reinvent yourself. What was the reason for taking the time off instead of just going full steam ahead?
I had to take a step aside because I got really tired of not knowing the business. A lot of times, a lot of artists, you hear it every time, record companies messing over artists and stuff because they sign a bad contract without reading it and stuff. And it's just, I wanted to become not just an artist, but I also wanted to become a student of the business.
Okay, so you wanted to learn more of the business end.
Yeah, I wanted to know copyrights, publishing. I wanted to know every aspect of the music business as far as registering my music, how to distribute it, everything. That way, I don't just come back as an artist, but I come in as a business entrepreneur as well.
So if you could say go back in time, and this could even go for artists today, what would you give advice-wise to yourself back then, or to any new artists listening in?
I would tell them, become a student of the business. In the long run, it will benefit you in every way, and it's overwhelming at first to learn everything that you need to learn. But once you learn all those curves and stuff of the business and how it works, you're going to thank yourself and pat yourself in the back for doing so, because that's how a lot of artists like Prince, Madonna followed right behind them, Ludacris, Tyrese, all of them wised up and they started their own empires and stuff as far as music, because they also got tired of how they were being treated by the record companies, and so they wised up. So I tell every independent artist, don't give up, just stay strong and stay consistent in this business. It's not easy. If it was, everybody will be doing it, but stay consistent and do not give up at all and stuff like that, because you're going to get a lot of rejections, and you just got to go through that and just learn from it, absorb it, and just make yourself even a better artist from that.
Definitely words to live by. Now, The big question, 2020, basically, obviously, it sucked all around. Did it hurt you in performing-wise or getting music-wise, or did you do anything during that time?
No, I still continue pushing my music. That's the nice thing about knowing the business, that I just don't depend on shows and stuff to keep me going. Learning the business lets you use the power of the internet. The power of the internet, a lot of artists don't realize that they got a worldwide audience and stuff, basically. And for a lot of artists, that doesn't click in. You have a worldwide audience. Back in the day, in the 80s and 90s, you didn't have that and stuff. So you can reach people in Brazil, the UK,
right,
and all that stuff. You have to try to get everybody in your local sector, and then move from city to city. Create the buzz, go on the streets, sell out of your trunk. But nowadays, with the power of the internet, you can reach almost anybody. So I was able still to reach those people. And the thing is, a lot of independent artists don't realize that you don't need the millions and millions of fans in order to make a successful living off the music business. All you need, what they call them super fans. You need a small niche of that super fan base that basically supports all your music, supports anything that you do, and you can make a good living. So I would tell everybody, don't worry too much about being famous, but worry about actually making a living off of what you love to do.
Okay, very cool. Are there any artists out now that you would like to work with or planning on working with anytime soon?
I mean, I would love to work with Mark Anthony. I would love to work with like Justin Timberlake type stuff, and on the freestyle end, definitely would love to work with Stevie B on something, a collaboration and stuff like that. I would love to work with Alika Cortez as well and stuff like that. Me and him have talked a little bit about doing some Latin stuff like that because he loves Latin music.
Right.
I go, yeah, just let me know when you're ready, man. I'll put something up, and that's one thing about me. I also taught myself how to produce my own music, how to video edit my stuff. I learned all that because it was just gonna make it a lot easier for me to not have to depend on anybody to do it for me. And you end up waiting around when that person's ready, or when can I get in that studio? I just built my own studio in my own home and built out my whole photo props, everything, umbrella lights, everything, green screen, you name it. I built it little by little just so I can do my own productions and everything.
Okay, very cool. Now let's bring it all the way down to 2021 and let's talk about Making Love. When is the track being released?
That's actually already released in July 9th.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's already out on all major outlets and stuff under AWOL Cobalt Music and stuff. It's a company up in the UK, stuff that's very popular. It's released already and stuff. So now what I'm doing is I'm pushing, the DJ pools, everything. I'm getting my PR ready, public relations, doing SEO marketing. I'm doing everything just to throw everything out there. Trying to also build relationships with promoters and radio stations just like yourself, to build the name and stuff and build the brand.
Very cool. Now, tell me a little bit about the song. Was it from a specific someone you're talking about? Or are you talking about in general?
No, I'm kind of like a movie producer. I like whatever mood I'm in and stuff like that. I create the scene. I basically create the script. I start imagining it in my mind, and I just, the way I write, I usually hum how I'm gonna sing a song, and then once I hum it, I start writing the lyrics and stuff like that, and it just comes to me that way. So I turn almost kind of like an actor in a movie and stuff. I'm reading I create the script and I start acting it out in music form, okay. and that's how I usually write all my songs and stuff like that. It's not about a specific person. It's just I was thinking of the 80s and 90s and stuff when I wrote it, because I have like a little bit of that 80s 90s nostalgia in that song and stuff.
Okay,
and a lot of people tell me, oh, you sound like The Weeknd, or you sound like this person, but that's a compliment and stuff like that. It's just I try to give you, when you listen to my music, I try to give you different flavors. None of my songs are the same.
Now, is this going to be on an EP or LP?
This is going to be just a single, and later on I'll release it in a remix and stuff like that, which I'm already talking to a couple DJs on doing a remix on a more club version type remix. Okay.
So are you touring right now?
No, at the moment I'm not.
Do you have any
right
plans?
Now, yeah, I'm working with a promoter to try to start doing some shows. I'm not too concerned about touring too much and stuff like that, but I do want to start doing shows to promote the song. just not in a heavy tour and stuff where it's gonna, take me away for too long. And so, like I'm gonna start off slowly transitioning. I'm more right now into the business side, which is the branding. I want to build that brand, and I want to build that name, and I want to build the song and stuff. That's most important to me. That way, when I do perform, everybody knows who Giovanni the Latin Artist is.
Okay. Now, is it on all streaming platforms?
Oh, yeah, all streaming platforms, including Apple Music, iHeartRadio, on Pandora, you name it, it's on there.
Awesome. Now, if people want to find out more about Giovanni the Latin Artist, where can they go social media-wise?
They can go to Facebook at Giovanni Latin Artist. They can go to my Facebook page, and then I have a Twitter at Giovanni Black Lion, but it's BLKLION. And then I also have my YouTube page that's also at Giovanni Latin Artist. My YouTube page, and then also my website EPK, which is Artist eCard, that's ECARD, and then / Giovanni Latin Artist, where they can watch my music videos there as well and stuff, and read my bio. They can know more about me.
Fantastic. Well, Giovanni, I appreciate you calling in and hanging out with us, and we're about to drop Making Love right now. So thank you. We appreciate you. We appreciate your music, and we hope to hear more from you in the foreseeable future.
Yeah, for sure, man. And thank you for having me as well, man.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Thank you for coming to the House of Vibes.
All right, you too, man.
All right. Take care.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Giovanni the Latin Artist, and right about now we're going to debut his song right here on the House of Vibes. This is Making Love.
Hi, this is Giovanni the Latin Artist, and you're listening to my song Making Love with DJ Hugo Boss on House of Vibes Triple Threat FM.
Radio.com.